Principal Vindravan Bihalal ki Jai. Sit down, everybody. Call you welcome. Let's all stand as we begin singing Devi Gyan Yagna. Please available. And together as we are about to welcome Mother. Focus your mind yourself. As we celebrate and sing our praise, you're asking permission. For those of you who are online, you're asking permission to enjoy the discourse, to relish in the teachings. Tonight, we enter into Devi Bhagwat Mahatyam. Just by listening to this, a person leaves as punyam. When a person is downtrodden, when you're at the end, and sometimes you wonder, what next? How do I overcome the problems that I'm facing? There comes tonight, this type of discourse, but begin humbly. Mother, I bow to you. I don't know those fancy mantras that Pandit is saying. Let's be honest. I don't know how to play that fancy drum Ritesh is playing. But from my heart, Mother, I know that when I talk to you, you're listening to me. By your grace, I've been given the opportunity to join with the members of this temple to do your worship, and I thank you for that. From the heart, Pujas together now. For those of you at home, do it correctly. Sajam Vardisanyuktam Prahinayojitam mayam Deepam Vihanaliresham Sarubhyadhirapaham. If somebody can come. Everybody like grouping in front of the today will see that help me. Jai Ambe Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri Tumko Nishkin Tonight we get to listen to your discourse. Dear Mother, for many people, it's going to be an eye-opener how to listen to Devi Bhagwat. That is your discourse tonight, ma'am. The 5th chapter of the Mahatyam guides the devotee how to do it right. Many people go, they journey to Tira, they journey to your Yagna, they go to your temple, but they don't know their role. They don't know the blessing. Why do we make the sacrifice of our time, our effort? Ma, tonight, as you speak to each one of your children, may you enter into their life. May you help them. May you guide them. Speak to them in a way they will understand. Ma, tonight we call upon you at the very onset of our puja. May you please accept your child for all my mistakes, for all my history, for all my sins. Ma, this fool comes tonight to pray. May you please accept me. I thank you humbly for the opportunity. I don't know what I'm doing. But Mother, by your grace, show me the way. This is my prayer tonight. Show me the way. Hold my hand, Mother. As a child, I'm begging you for that help. Sarva Mangala Mangale Shive Sarva Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gurudeva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Mare Baba, we cannot call you lady and forget you. Trouble will come. Lord Shiva, tonight we ask your permission to begin this yagna. And we start with you, Lord Shiva. May you please come and bear witness as we celebrate her. Prabhu, we don't forget that it is you who releases the secrets of this divine meeting. May you allow us to do her worship. May you grant us this time, peacefully, calmly, to do this type of prayer. And allow your children the understanding, the memory, O Lord Shiva. And bless this place. Bless those people that sacrifice their time and their effort to cook, to clean, to decorate, to sing. So many people came, so many children came so that this prayer could happen. Don't forget them, Lord Shiva. Don't forget them. People are hustling from work. People are hustling in our traffic to reach. Those that are watching online, God, help them. Stretch your hands, Lord Shiva, and bless them. Easy mantra, everybody. Children. Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Make yourself comfortable. For the next few nights, we get to sit and listen to discourses taken from the Devi Bhagwat Mahapuran. And many people, I'm sure you've heard these discourses and this text. But just for the children, where does Devi Bhagwat come from? Devi Bhagwat comes from that individual called Vyas. We have heard of him. He's the guy who pens the Bhagwat, that great discourse of Mahavishnu. And what happened to him? He did Bhagwat, and he felt that he didn't do enough. Just wrote the book. And he felt that he was insufficient. He had not done justice. He did not do enough for the reader. Bhagwat Puran, when you listen to it, you feel a great amount of bhakti when you listen to all the discourses of Lord Vishnu. And he went into great detail, guiding, so that every time you listen, you would understand a little more about Lord Vishnu when he came as a dwarf, when he comes as Narsingh, when he comes as Ram, Krishna. Well, imagine every time you heard about the Govardhan discourse when Krishna is holding with the baby finger, when he's dancing on Kalya and Yashoda Mata is rushing to him. Oh Kana, why are you on that serpent's tongue? He had just written this epic, and instead of feeling accomplished, instead of feeling good about himself or his work, he got very, very, very depressed. He felt as if he had wasted the life that God has given him. What is the sense of calling yourself a holy person if you cannot uplift or teach or encourage the people that are around you that don't know as much? Tonight we're going to hear some things about how our behavior has to be when you're doing this type of job. Because let's be honest, there are many people do yagna, many people do puja, but not everybody gets through their prayers. So what's the secret? Think about it. The recipe for Mahanbhog doesn't change from house to house. The flag for Hanuman Swami doesn't change. The color of sindoor doesn't change. But you check house to house and you'll see a difference in the outcome. And tonight, at the very onset of our prayer, consider what I am saying. The only variable in prayers is the person doing the puja. The person who sits, who presents themselves. And what is the problem? Imagine, friend, imagine I made the best Mahanbhog, your favorite Mahanbhog, but I put it in the sloppiest, stinkiest, greeniest, grimiest terrier you could imagine. And I say, here, eat. What do you eat? I like it, but can't stand it. Sorry. But it's a clean terrier. Would the reception be different? The person who is doing the puja in this incident is the terrier. You are the person presenting this gift to the Devi. But some of us have that eternal filth, some of us don't. And that is what makes the difference. Tonight, in this discourse, he's explaining how to do this correctly so that you will be able to obtain the blessing that you so need, the help you want, how to do it correctly. Who is listening in Devi Bhagwat? Vyas Muni then sat down and he starts to write this epic called Devi Bhagwat. Devi Bhagwat comes after Bhagwat Gita. We've done Gita part this morning with Pitri Puja, and on the cover of the Bhagwat Gita you'll see Arjuna and Krishna having a conversation. Long after Arjuna left the earth, his grandson, Maharaj Parikshit, he's bit by a snake. And this is why we have Bhagwat Puran. He sat down and he wanted to listen to the Katha about Lord Krishna so that his soul would get liberation. Time is short for him, he's going to die in a few days. So the idea is in 7 days, read it 3 times for the day. And at the end of the 7 days, he will get upliftment. His body, his soul, his entire history will be free from sin. And so said, so done. At the end of 7 days, this huge snake comes and bites him. But his son, realizing that he just did all the prayers, you just did all this prayers, Daddy, and the snake still comes, and it still bites you, and you still die, he becomes very angry with the serpent. And he goes, you know, in dealing with grief and loss, the first step is anger. You get angry and you plead. You blame the doctor, you blame the ENT, you blame your family, you blame everybody. Why did this person have to die? He gets the same way, and he goes after all the snakes. Parikshit is his name, and he goes and he starts to hunt snakes. captures them. And when he's doing, me and you offered ghee, we offered gogol, you might offer rice, sugar, whatsoever when you have your puja at home. He started to dip living snakes into oil and drop it into the fire. He did Sak Yagya, his puja, his offering is the snaky body of living snakes. Imagine how they suffered and they burned and they toiled because of his animosity, his hurt, his rage. And one day our guru says, son, you're doing wonderful prayers. It's just your attitude. You're so full of rage and hate. I think you need it wrong. In the nicest, sweetest way, because you have a ferocious temper. So the pundit for himself. He said, I think you could do it better. So he said, I don't understand. What do you mean? I'm doing the prayers. And the murky day, and I'm taking the stuff the pundit give me, and I put in it. Think what I say. Follow what I say. And this is the ingredient, it's red. Isn't this how silver looks? And the saffron and the perfume sweet? How does it matter? Does it matter if I rest it like this or if I held it? And the important thing is it reached by the murky. Krishna. Think what I said, for some people it's like that. Why do I need to clean the house? Why do I need to fast? Why do I need to prepare myself? What difference that makes? Why do I, for young people, why do we have to shine the horn or mop the floor, anything? Why do anything? And therein lies the answer to it. The effort. What you put in your prayer is what you're going to get out. That is karma. Today, Parikshit now, after listening to the Guru that there's a better way to do the prayer, stop harming the snake. Calm yourself down. Yes, your father lost, but there's a way to ask for forgiveness. You need to pray for your soul. You kill too much. You do too much wrong. So he says, son, listen. I think you need to pray to your mother. And that guru sat down and starts. And this is where Devi Bhagwat begins. Parikshit, son, Janvijay, sorry. Janvijay is the person that we are going to listen to. And his journey. Everybody, please put your hands together. We are about to do Sumiran. This is mission to listen to the text and remember it. Let it permeate your body. Let it enter your body. As you will hear the benefit of the words. And I want to see change in my life. There are some people, as we come together in the temple, please learn to pray. Satsang, what does the word satsang mean? The coming together of people that discuss truthful things. Learn. How do you pray? There are some people, dear Mother Durga, I love you. And whatever you choose to give me is fine, I'll accept that. But when you get whatever, you don't like that. So this, whatever you do here, if you don't want to put your hands together, that's fine. That's fine, that this is for you. If you want to shortcut yourself, that's you, that's okay. Take the opportunity. If you accept my advice, put your hand together and close your eyes. As we ask our Mother, we are about to journey in your text. Please allow me. Gauri Shambhu Gira Guru Govinda Ganapati Gan Sumire Vyas Vash Karta Devi Katha Prasad Gauri Shambhu Gira Guru Govinda Now listening to the words of Guruji, he wants to know more. Sitting in the fields of Naimisharanya, this holy place, all the younger ones are listening to the story being retold. And they are asking their Guru, please tell us, what is the glory of Devi Bhagavatam? What are the rules regarding listening to this Puran? How does a person acquire the benefit of listening to this text in their life when they have trouble? How does it benefit them? If you listen to Ramayana, when Sabri is speaking to Sri Ram, they discuss the 9 forms of bhakti. If somebody says, when I was younger, I used to say to my Nana, where you going, old man? Trouble in it. It had prayers in the temple. So I'm going to hear the prayers. You ever hear somebody say that? I'm going to listen. Where you going to hear, boy? You can hear everything already. Only to realize many years later, when you read more, listening, Shravanam, is a form of bhakti. That I may not be able to do the puja for whatever reason. But by listening to the prayer, just as people are home listening, just as you're sitting in the audience, by listening, you get the blessing as if you've done the puja. So me and Pujari would sit down and bend in foot and fold in foot and feel all the cramp and all the pain. And somebody could simply come and witness by listening. And you get the same blessing. This is why our elders who had the idea, they knew what they were doing. They used to rush to the front. It have wedding and going to see darshanam is another form. By looking on at the prayer. By seeing the moment when the Ganesh is in the Ganesh Utsav parade or the book is coming in. I want to see. I want to witness. You get the blessing as if you have done the puja. This is the benefit. They want to know now. Please tell us. When a person practices Shravanam to this Devi Bhagwat Puran, how does a person get the blessings? Let's hear what the Guru is about to teach them. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Ram Bhagwan What does the Guru say? He says when the person is inspired to listen to Devi Bhagwat, know that they have to plan as if a wedding is going to come. Set the date at the right, choose the appropriate month, just as today Nakshatra is Anuradha. Choose the right tithi, the right day, and more blessing, more and more reward is possible when it is done in the right time. Further, if you wish to get the blessing of the Devi, make sure and invite Shiv Baba and do Shiv Nirmalayam, Lord Shiva Prasad. Offer him first and call her in the evening. Then she'll come with all her force for the pleasure of the Devi. Another way a person could do it, in the different seasons. In India, we celebrate Navratri 4 times. If you should happen to read these texts in that Navratri, Mother would be even happier. Wise individuals make arrangement as if, as I said before, a wedding is coming. Many patrons, many helpers, assistants come to help. But let these people be free of pride, false pride. Let them be free of greed. And let them do what they do with extreme devotion for that mother. Let news be sent far and wide. Let it be spread that Devi is going to be celebrated, and in a humble way, invite people to listen to the discourse of Devi. There are some people do not know how to talk to other people. There are some people, I've been all over the place, to be honest. And I'm saying this so that you don't fall in this trap. You invite somebody, well, brother, I can't come, I have job. No problem, come now, you come in the evening and you eat something. We've all heard that. But really is, there are people who say, why you come so late? Like you reach just for the room. But you invite me, auntie. You tell me come. And I still come. I still come for the little parasad. And you do not know, you and I do not know which form God will come in. I could be in a tattered kurta, a new kurta. Let your reception of the guests be deceived. Don't get trapped. Don't get tricked. Hanuman Baba, one of his siddhi, he could dress and he could hide in the best. And when you do not expect him to come, that is the time coming in the most stinkiest, smelliest form, in the most different race, different religion form. I remember one time I went to read here, and the person came with a different religious text in front of the temple to preach at the moment the tasa cracked. You are doing the wrong religion. You know, some people get upset. And one old fella came from inside, he said, Uncle, you're talking plenty. You're probably very tired. They got water and a banana and made a friend from a foe. The same person stand up and watch the entire play of the tasa and the procession. Calm down. Oh, your religion is very beautiful. How you choose to receive somebody, that will set the tone for your prayer. You want this lady to come and dance, but you have to make it fit so she can come and dance. Please follow the trend. When you know the recipe, cooks in the kitchen, when you know the recipe, wouldn't the cake come out the best? But if I, on the kitchen, was going out to bake the batter, bake the cake, and after you bake the cake, then want to add the sugar on top of the cake. I don't know how it will come out. That is what we do sometimes in prayer. You go here, I have the best sari, I have the best clothes. Tell me about your heart, don't tell me about your prayer. Tell me about your behavior. Tell me about your attitude. Tell me, yes, you just come to the temple and everybody knows my name and all these things. Good. Does Durga matter know your name? If a jet bite you tomorrow, you have pain, do you know her name more importantly? Analyze yourself. You're in pain again, a really, really bad piece of traffic, or God forbid, a horrible accident. And in that moment, will your mind run on her or a different type of language? Says when you have this type of, you want to share the joy of mother, call the person who is worship the sun, call the worshippers of Lord Shiva, the people who, they revel in worshiping Ganesh, the people who worship the Devi or the Shakta movement, the Vaishnava, call all of them. Don't be saying inviting people who pray like me, but share your mother with everybody. Those desirous of Devi Bhagwat and the nectar that comes from mother, that devotion and that love must be shared with everybody. Every race, every religion, every gender, it does not matter. There is no limit. There is no favored caste. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmin, all ashrams, all are welcome in her place to drink from the nectar of her discourses. Sometimes there may not be even enough time to go through to get to the true point in her discourses, but the person must leave sometime feeling as if, oh, I want more. I didn't hear enough. I'm so grateful for this invitation. And when it is time for the discourse to be made, let them clean the place. Dress the place, because that Devi is coming. When you hear the word mandap says this area, this shed, over where the book is written. Let here have flowers decorated. We would have used fig trees, flowers, fruits, etc. Representative of the natural setting. Decorated with flags. Let a divine seat covered where the person who is reading must face east or north. The seats for the guests must be prepared, and allow them to sit in earnest, waiting for the mercy of Mother. The person who is getting ready to listen, they must not have a condemning thought in their mind. Let's hear what happens in this part. जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम 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 जय भोले Ganpati Mahadeva ki. There are many people that do not know what I'm about to say. So please listen. There are some of you that will be taking notes or recording this. That is not a problem. Please remember it. Because it have rules. Things to eat, things not to eat. And some of it, I'm telling you, it would shock you. Even me, when I was reading this for the first time, the truth is the person who is doing this should be shaving their hair. If you've ever gone to Yagna, and if you ask the main person doing the puja, shave all your hair, just the turkey. This is where it is coming from. That when the person is doing the 9 days Devi worship, this is the correct way. At the time of the commencement, the person is supposed to be fasting, not only from meat and alcohol. Sometimes we talk about meat and alcohol and love when doing this type of puja. But you're also supposed to fast from everything except you're supposed to be on sattvic food. So what is sattvic food? Isn't it vegetarian food? Truthfully, microwave food, stale food, yesterday's food is not supposed to be consumed by the person who is doing the vrat, who is doing Devi Mata Puja. The person should be telling lies. The person, married people, big people, they should be practicing celibacy when they're doing the prayer. How, Guruji, how do they begin their year? On the first day, they must rise before Aruna. Aruna is at home when you have the picture of Sir Narayan Swami, there's somebody driving the horses. That is the brother of Garud. There's a wonderful discourse that explains why you don't see his legs. When we have people in wheelchairs and people who do not have their legs, remember the story of that person who is driving that chariot. Garud, in a nutshell, Garud and his brother Aruna and 2 huge eggs. And the mummy was waiting anxiously. And they couldn't hatch fast enough. So the mummy went and she cracked one of the eggs and she looks inside and Aruna is there. He says, "Oh mother, what did you do? You rushed for development and I did not get legs yet." Aruna was blessed when he was born now, from waist up he has no legs, that his body would be impervious to hot sun, the heat, the boiling heat. For this reason he sits in front of Sir Narayan. And when Surya Dev is coming in the morning, what the Hindu does, they wait for him. He's the one who brings the light before the heat. So when the text says, at the time of the rising of Aruna, it means as the day, what we would say locally as day cleaning. The day is getting bright, but the heat of the sun is not there yet. When in English we talk about the ozone layer, in Hinduism we are talking about Aruna. He sits in front of Surya and he blocks the heat that is permeating from his body. A person gets up at that early time, at that Sandhya time, bathing, purifying themselves, preparing themselves for Sandhya. On such a day, Tarpan is being offered. Tarpan to who? Not only Pitras, but Dev Tarpan, all the Devtas, the Rishi Tarpan to all the Munis, and then the Pitra Tarpan must be done. For the sake of getting competency and remembering the story, in the prayer, just as we did with the little gold cow is given, if not the actual animal, a pitya, a murti. Some people even give a toy to little girls in the prayer. They should worship Ganesh Baba and his names in the form of Uchista Ganapati, Kesariya Ganapati, the remover of obstacles, he should be called. The different devatas that live, the Dasdikpal that live in the different direction, the 16 matrikas, these forms should be worshipped. Tulsi Devi, the 9 planets, all of them have to be worshipped. And the Navakshara mantra, the Chandika mantra, we'll get to that just now, is chanted in the Havan. The puja took a little longer, but why? In following the protocol, this is how you're able to start with the right energy. When the Pandits come together and they chant their mantra and stotras and so on, the reading is about to begin, chanting of the prayers, calling Bhavani in her different forms, giving the person the opportunity to pray for what they need. And before the reading starts, This is where a person asks that I am about to listen to the writings of Vyas Muni. And dear mother, by listening to this, remove my collected sin and allow me to see the benefit that I am looking for, the happiness. That person who listens to Devi Bhagwat for the attaining of the different dharma, earth, calm, moksha, and I'll explain those things to you tomorrow night. This person talks to her, and during this conversation explains what they are looking for, why they are doing this. This is sometimes called the Sanka, making a statement, a promise. Let's hear what happens as we get into these different humans. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita Who is a Bhakt of Devi? The person who does not shun devotion, the person who does not denounce the text, the person who pulls back from himsa or violence. They know there's a time and a place, and they control those inert feelings sometimes to lash out. Case in point, when you're fasting, that is the day the children is tested. That is the day the dental is look a little more nice to crack them. That is the day everything is going. But the person shows restraint within himself, not for nobody else. The person really, mother look at the testing me today, but I'm doing it, I'm doing it. That person, that is a Bhakt of Devi. That person deserves the opportunity to sit and listen. The person who does not steal How do you steal when you're going to do prayer? My neighbor Ritesh wouldn't know and take his need leaves and his flowers and any other article. Think about Wasi. He has missed it. He not use any flowers on his trees. But it's not yours. So how could you charity? How could you gift what is not yours? So by and large, what we are doing when we're doing it, we are gifting what we have stolen. In this example, in this one little point, don't make that mistake. Even if the person is not there, this is why we just ask the tree, we ask the neighbor or somebody. So that when you go to offer it, it is belonging to you. The person who does not misappropriate the wealth of others, these people are fitting to come now and sit. These people should sleep on the ground. These people should control themselves and eat those types of food that encourage fasting. This is where Baba is going to get in trouble, and I take this of what I'm about to say. Everybody put your phone on silent now. Really temple. When a person is observing Vrat for Devi, they should leave off brinjal. Which is like brinjal is the Indian term for baigan, eggplant. Have you ever heard somebody say that?
Yeah.
Baigan, some of these things that cause your heart to race. It affects your circulation, it affects your blood, and that blood supply sometimes it makes you edgy. Your fasting is supposed to calm down, cool down. This type of diet where you're eating the baigan, it makes your heart race. Another example, it talks about stale food, burnt food, overcooked food, etc. But stay away from mansuri dal, stay away from onion. Try away all the food now, Pandit. The problem with the onion, because while it's garlic, and it does say garlic, what is the problem with the onion? It has a high amount of zinc. In all fairness, zinc is something that encourages testosterone growth within the male. Poor fella trying to remain celibate. Poor fella trying his best to control himself. And you did pumping him with food to go the opposite route.
Tomato and onions.
It's the truth. I want you to understand why. It's not just to say, don't eat it. Many people ask me the question, this Sadhguru, he spoke about baigan, he spoke about onion, he spoke about garlic, but he didn't say why. This is why.
Yeah.
The content. People who have fertility problem, they're told eat the onion raw. This is why you go to an Indian restaurant, they'll cut up onion 10 times for the day, and they give you the onion. Most populated country in the world. And you know why? When a person is doing this vrat and they're listening to Devi Bhagwat, they should not eat pumpkin. Remember? Why? Why? Pumpkin, no, don't get me wrong. I know every prayers we have pumpkin cooking. Pumpkin is something, it affects your blood. Again, it makes the person a little more heated. It is a warming food. So it brings about, good hormonal balance. But you're trying to depress everything when you're sitting for puja. So when people say you're eating basically sada food, sweet food, this is where you're coming out of this Bhagwat Puran, and if you're doing that, go down properly, you don't eat carrot. You're supposed to, not only meat, my point is, it's not only meat, it has more intricacies than that. When the person now is ready, having prepared themselves, do not ill speak the people that are trying their best. Let me pick on my mother here. So I came to the prayers and it has happened. A child tried their best to make a mark. Think what's in it. Little child, Baba, I want to make this for you. but the flowers are match, maybe it falling off, maybe the string loose somehow. And sometimes you come across an adult, that's where you get it, so you could do it. And make that child feel that if they could go under that rug, they would go under the rug. That could be a big person, that could be a woman, a man, don't do it. I remember one time, British, I went to play drum, and the guy playing drum for me was a young fella, 12 years, 13 years, somebody. And he knocking 1, 2, learning. But I like, because I just make all the mistakes in the world. If you ask British how much mistake I made for tonight already, it's ridiculous. Timing and all kind of things. So I like to work with the junior ones. They don't look at you too hard. When you're working with too much like professionals, it's hard. And somebody came after the thing and insulted the child. 15 years old, now learning drum. All of you walk that road already. You're now learning and you're afraid to sit down on the stage. You call yourself a drummer? You consider yourself a musician? You know, the next time the child didn't want to come to the job. But this is the main show time. This is the guy having the yagna. Don't make that mistake. People make mistakes. First and foremost, in your mother's house, you're allowed to make the mala, in my example, make the mala bad. In your mother's house, you could play the drum how you want. Maybe different in other people's house. Maybe there are other rules for other places. But in mommy's house, somehow, mommy just leave the child, man. Leave the child cry. You don't vex with a little child crying. You don't vex because somebody touched her flowers or whatsoever. You could correct somebody. Babe, do goody. Babe, do, in a nice way. But don't insult people. Don't do that. People who are getting ready to take up the work of worshiping this lady should observe things. Just but we'll start there. Please cover your body. Many people don't understand that. You come into a place of worship. In Trinidad the other day, they had to ask a lady, please leave the court. She wasn't dressed properly. It was disrespectful, and the court thought, okay, I think this is the limit, stop. Leave. When you're ready to dress appropriate, come back. I'll hear you. But in temples now, it's a free-for-all. I have been told when the guys were just selling the store. If they start to sell anything, that means you could wear anything, agree? But when the barber says something is wrong, but where do you draw the line? Our text says dress modestly. Please, everybody, take that with respect. And the men too. The person should practice righteousness, purity in mind, thought, and action. Compassion. Limit speech of, unnecessary things. This is a time to invite. One person asked me this. If somebody is diseased, we have a natural tendency to scorn people. We look down at people. Think what I'm saying. We look down at people very, very bad. A person has a skin ailment. Oh, I don't want to sit down next to that person. This is a misconception. They have more right to be here than you and I. In her prayers, if a person has leprosy, if a person has tuberculosis, if a person is suffering from dire disease, this unfortunate person who has committed sin in their past and is paying for it now, this is the most appropriate person to offer, sit in front. Give them the reserve, the special reserve for the barber and this one and the rich man and the businessman and all that kind of craziness. Give the sickly person, the person in the wheelchair, put them in front. Be the person to say, what, I would like you to listen to this so that you will get help. Then you're doing it correct. Do not shun these type of people. People who are on the brink of depression, divorce, people who are lost in thoughts of suicide and postpartum depression, put them in front so that their mother could help them. Don't run people like this. Don't say, listen, you are poorly just you can't come in the temple or in my prayers. You're smelling wrong. No, put me in front. Please remember that. A barren woman, a woman who has children that she's bringing forward with autism, Asperger, with some defect. Put them in front. A woman who has been abandoned by her husband, and this also applies for man. They should be allowed to sit in front. Why am I saying this? We just remember in Trinidad, there are temples in South Trinidad. When it's Ganesh time, I don't know if you know this, ladies. But in some temples, when they do Ganesh Utsav, you can't sit where you're sitting. Let's just say the baby area here. The girl has to, women, girls, anybody, any age, married, no matter, you have to sit out all the way. Till today, right? I told the people I've never come back in the temple, they don't let ladies come in and sit for praise. Truthfully, but those things exist. You hear about it in India, but it exists. In Ganesh worship, you cannot come. A lady cannot make a parasana. A lady cannot make a mala for the Ganesh Murti. Truthfully. In this case, let them come. Freely let them come. Regardless. If when you are doing Kanya Kumari Pujas, we'll hear when Sri Ram is doing the puja, the child who you are worshiping cannot have certain illness. But in this case, to listen, let them come. The person who is praying, join together in this next verse. Pahi, 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 Rajanana. comes, let it be known that that book should be worshipped every day. The Vyas, the narrator, that person should be worshipped every day. This person and the people, and the musicians, the Pandit who is doing Puja, these people are here to assist you in your journey, in understanding Devi a little more. What is the purpose of all of us coming together? Is so that they would package it. If I read Sarah, no music, child inside here fall asleep. But Ritesh is keeping everybody awake. This child singing wonderful. And in it, package the same discourse in a way that is a little more palatable. And he made us. So when you finish listening to it, you get a reward. In the front, you by sitting for prayer. So speak to them, bow to them with a little humility, and in doing so, you will gain the blessing. For every child in that, this is a little trick. Do you know that when you offer something by that link, maybe Shivratri, have you ever gone to that temple, Shivratri night? And but I noticed they don't share all. I went and I didn't get anything. Have you ever noticed they don't take what is on the lingam to give to the junk pot? They're not supposed to. There's a discourse in Brahma Puran. Lord Shiva, for you to understand, Lord Shiva is hanging with Lord Vishnu, like two friends. And Lord Shiva is asking him, Vishnu Baba, why does the sun raise in the east? Why does the sky have to be blue? Why is the water looking blue but it's not blue? And Lord Vishnu, like a guru, started to answer. I made it this way because, it's this way because, and started to explain. And when it's finished, Lord Shiva says, the only chance that I could give you for all that you've taught me as a guru, I would like to feed you. This is how you entreat your guru when he comes home by you. Lord Vishnu accepts the honor and he sits. And Lord Shiva took out all the different seating him. Mahadi Baba, humble, serves the food, the same food. He doesn't eat, he waits patiently because Baba wants any more. When it was done, the guru now, as per our tradition, he says, from my plate, from my jutta, I am leaving a morsel. Put aside a little something, when we have Shraddha, we just put aside a little bit. He says, Shiv Baba, I left this little bit of prasad, what I have touched. The word prasad means something that God touched. So it could be mahanbhog, it could be sweets, it could be fruits, all is prasad. When you eat it, you will get blessed, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is very happy. And as Lord Vishnu get up, you can imagine, all the food gone. And feels the radiation, the blessing, the benefit, the heat, the joy. Oh boy, look at the opportunity you get. Go home, Parvati Mata, I get to lie with Lord Vishnu. And I get to eat all the food he leaves. What do you think that lady said? Where mine? Where my share? Husband, you is the leader of this house. You is the God of this house. Alright, your wife is nothing if you read that discourse. She hit him hard. After all, Kali Mata rests her foot on the mat. Yes, you always get it. Always. She says, alright, your wife is nothing. What about your two sons? Nothing for them. Okay, I put a strap on you that nobody will taste your jutta. This is why, when something is offered by the lingam, Shiv Nirmalayam, we don't take it back. But you will hear Vishnu touch it, Krishna Arpan, Krishna Arpan, Krishna Arpan, anything he touch, share it, take a little bit here and send it back for everybody else. When the Shiv Nirmalayam is offered, when the offering to Lord Shiva is given, and no fault, meaning you don't thief it, you don't go, you don't gripe, oh, that lingam have plenty barfi, I wish I could get some. You don't do that. You're comfortable, that is his, and leave it there, respect. In that way, the person is going to overcome and mitigate flaws, faults that they came into the Yagyashala with. What should a person do? The person should chant Gayatri mantra as they are coming in. There's a way to enter into a place like this. Your right foot first. And when you come and you sit down, take 1 second. If just one Gayatri mantra. If just one, the next mine. She says it here, he says it here, that there is no mantra greater than Gayatri. Why? Because that mantra, when chanted, burns away the sin for 24 hours. Any point, any puja, always do Gayatri in the fire. Why? Why do you do Gayatri 3 times in your prayer? The last, in the Havan before they close off? If the Gayatri, when you chant it removes sin. Baba, today we had puja. And if I made sin via my speech, please forgive me. If I made sin via my thoughts, this stupid husband I have. Yes, say nothing, but it's here. Forgive me. If I made a mistake with my hand, as I said, sometimes we take in this leaf and flowers or whatever, we didn't ask you. Forgive me. Likewise, when you come in the Yagna, if today I got upset, if I made a mistake, if I said something I shouldn't have said, forgive me, dear God, but I come clean, I come open, fill me with your devotion, and allow me to go home better. I'm sick, I'm upset, I have a stress, help me to overcome it, and with the right mindset, you will get it. Anytime you journey to a yag, always when you're sitting down, do your Gayatri first. That way start pure. And when the slok, when the chaupai, when the doha, when everything starts to come at you. Because there's a reason why I'm going verse to verse. By reading these verses, this is where you get the blessing. If I were to summarize this and I said, Keshava said, and I did it in my words have no value. But by listening to the text, you get the blessing. And that is where the value is. For the person that listens to the words of the Bhagwat with that Gayatri echoing in their mind, that person is able to do something called praschit karma. Praschit karma is a type of karma where you are asking for forgiveness. There are some people that say, well, bad things happening, that is my karma, boy. That is true. Our last life, let me say simple language, last life dictate what happened in this life. So some people win the lottery and some people don't. Some people get married, some people don't. But if everything is cast in stone like that, why are you taking the time to sit in a temple to worship a murti if everything already right in stone? If it already there, what are you doing? Think was it? Lord Shiva, I have $5 in my pocket, make it 50 now. Jai Lakshmi Mata, and it's going. Dear God, today the doctor said I have stage 3 cancer, please change that. Dear Lord, the child making C in maths, you're too smart. Help it now, make it a A. In different ways, every time you pray, you're asking God to change your destiny, your karma, your current situation, your future. I don't know if I'll get married. Please bless me to get married. Bless me to find somebody. Isn't that the prayer we say sometimes? Change this, give me that. Change this, give me that. And this is the power of your prayer. This is the purpose of your prayer. If you didn't realize it, you are the maker of your destiny. The prayer, the puja, the havan, the flowers, the effort is the tool you are using to manipulate this thing called destiny. That if a person uses the tool of prayer correct, you could make it happen. I am a proud example of that. When I was younger, 16, 17 years, writing maths, Trinidad side, which is CXC, I was pretty stupid when it comes to maths. I was hopeless. I love English, I could write anything for you, I could read. But maths, hated trigonometry. What is the Saraswati job? I'll testify, it works. You put your faith in prayers, it works. You practice it, it works. If I could get a double major in biochemistry and biology, trust me, it really will. If you have a problem, but you don't have the faith in what you're doing, that is your problem. If you're doing something, but you're doing it because Pujari tell you to do it, or Mami tell you to do it, or even the Pandit tell you to do it. I will not check my patra and Baba say fast, so fast. Take advice. But if you don't believe in it, what are you doing? I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know where I'm doing here. I'm telling you the truth, I'm hopeless. I don't know what I'm doing here. With that type of attitude, what are you going to talk to God and see? You know, when he's in this form, it's easy because you think this is fake. Poof, this thing's a real person. And he says, listen, you're calling me, I'm busy and it's a universal running. And I have so many people calling me on a day-to-day basis. What is your want? You give me nice flowers, nice sweet rice, everything good. God bless you, I love it. What it is you want? Up to now, you see your praise. You talk to me and say, listen, I need help with this. I need help with that. And why I need a change. You're just literally like a robot, resting in red powder, yellow powder, incense, you put it in, but you're not saying anything. How are you going to see change with that type of mannerism? The person should, in this way, give gifts, ornaments, make not only the narrator, the vyas, all the shooters, the people that surround them pray together. A certain sense of camaraderie should start to build from the first day. And it is their job to get up and serve people when they pray done. Your work doesn't finish to I'm after the prayer done yet. You see, when the last guest get food and leave, then the prayer done. You know, we go to tell me if you ever see this, right? You go to Shroud, you go to Bandana, people in a long prayer, the children tired after doing the prayer, and they go and they lie down and prostrate mommy and whatsoever. But when the puja finish, the prayer feeding is where you get your blessing. Because you invited those, you know, in our dharma, at Titi Dev, our guest is our God. We call them in Murti form and say, please come, and with love, Krishna. But when you walk through that door in the same way, if somebody asks you, why do you say Sitaram? That's the simplest. Why do you say Sitaram? Always remember, I am bowing to the Devta and to the God that is equally in each person. People banter about this one is Brahmin and this one is rich person and this is man and this spark is brighter than anybody. It's equally present. That is why we greet everybody, Sitaram, and bow to the God in you. And when you serve that person with that divinity in them, that is where you get the blessing. By sharing the food and serving not only the Kumaris and the young girls, but with devotion, with that humility when they say devotion, serve the people that come to listen to Mother's prayer, that person is going to gain blessing. Blessed is the individual that if in their family they have a history, listen to this, they have a history of their body rotting. A funny verse. If in your family anybody lost appendage or a foot to some disease, such as diabetes, or to any type of rotten, flesh-eating type thing, these people, to get away from that type of trouble, should stand firm in the kitchen and feed people until they have their full, in order to overcome this type of predicament. When a person, for example, afraid the effects, and I spoke about it, I'll say it again, they are afraid of the effects of diabetes on their body, let's say kidney failure, any other type of failure, be the person to shedding water for the individual. I have a godson whom his father, I'm just telling you a personal thing, not calling you. His father has renal failure due to diabetes, and he's afraid. You know something happened to your mother and father, I next. You know this kind of way? He is the person. My throat is get dry regular, and I just have to grab a bottle of water, forgive me. I was not good, Baba. I'm drinking, I'm missing myself, and I apologize. But he just be the one, Baba, to grab a bottle of water, okay? And grab a bottle, I see Seva. And he knows why. You see, we do things. Baba wants to throw your back, Baba wants to help. Mama, you're going any car, I'll help you. People do things, but my point is, do you know why you do it? If you knew why, maybe you'd have a little more earnest. about washing. You go to your job, you do it good because you know at the end of the day, they don't know why they're doing things. Sometimes they don't get to do it. But when you know what you value it, you'll do it a little more close. In this year, as we get into and we learn about what the Devi Gyan, as you learn about her, this will guide you not only for this job, but when you are doing her worship going forward. When the person listening, whether a poor person, a weak person, a boy, a young man, a girl, a young woman, an old woman, all deserve respect. And when this person getting ready to place, be escorted, treated with that respect so that they may return home to their home in a safe and complete manner. Everybody, please put your hands together. Take a second. Take a second and say your prayers. Too often we go to prayers, but we don't pray. We're going to close now. Don't worry, I'm respecting my time. Dear Lord, it says in this verse that when the discourse of the Mahatyam is read, listening to verse by verse, answering questions of those devotees that are ready to absorb, transform people that have hard head, cold hearts into the warmest children. No longer are donkeys present or chameleons present with their shifting shapes, but bring them to you. Not to man, but to the goddess. Bring them to you in humble baby-like forms. Do not allow them censure, but allow them the language to talk that brings about the removal of sin. And what was once bad dogs, barking dogs with brandishing teeth, bring them as loving puppies to you, Mother. Blessed is the individual that listens to your discourse sitting where they are, but they could see themselves worshiping your feet. Those people that will drink of your Charan Amrit, bless their lives, no longer to be filled with poisonous trees, but filled with fruit-bearing branches that bring nutrition, that bring upliftment and happiness wherever they might go. Mother, you must follow them, not only in the temple, but wherever they venture out from the temple. Wherever they go, when they leave this place, Mother, may you walk with them so that wherever their feet rest, may the petals of your love be with them. Have problems in improve the quality so that yes, they may live, but Ma, you who are Daya, or the compassionate one, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Dhyara Rupa Himani, around them and within their own self. Help me see Devi wherever I am. Just as the water of the Ganges flow from the Tata of Adi. Blessed is the individual who does both. Blessed is the individual who is able to understand, remember, and internalize those. That individual is called Seva Mukti. That they are Mukti liberation. That they are liberated as life in the body. When there is fear from the politician, when there is fear from epidemic and famine, destruction of the country, enemies affecting you, when things are looking very dark, when people are afraid of ghosts, ghouls, lost souls, different things affecting, let them listen to the Mahatyam of the Devi Bhagwat, slope after slope, so that these things cannot touch them. Let the light of Devi benefit and penetrate their body. Just as that Gayatri will go with them. Mother, tonight as we conclude this chapter, this is for you. Oh, For the purpose of blessing, this is why I started in the Mahatya. Nowhere in this did I say you have to have the largest darshan. Be clear. Nowhere in this did I mean you have to be calm. In everybody's life, in every girl's life, in every boy's life, we all have a journey. I wrote a book. And we can watch our lives and say, oh my God, I'm the worst person. I did this wrong, I did that wrong. You can do that. Truth is, you learn lessons along the way. And Durga is waiting for you. If you will only know that she's waiting on you, and you make the necessary decisions in your life to find that lady, she's waiting on you. And when you do it like how we discussed it, she'll be right there to help you. Prem Sabolo Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai.